Welcome back, everyone, to the Bart Curtis Show, and it's actually Saturday morning, just so you know. We do a little taping before, and it's okay. We'll let them know that secret, you know. But anyway, Coach, what a wonderful football game last night. The Tigers took on the Panthers, and, you know, as we often talk, we've both been around a while, and it's been a long time since I've seen the Tigers come out after the Panthers like that.
Well, and Dave, thank you, and congratulations to you as well. You guys had another big win with the freshmen on Thursday. Can't really explain, unless you were there, kind of the ebb and flow of the first half, because the final score, 35-14, and really 35-7, and they got one late.
Right.
Was not indicative of how the game started out the first half. But it's a big win for our program, particularly after last year's disappointing loss up in Napanee when we went for 2 for the win, and it didn't work out our way. So it was nice to come out, play our brand of football, even though early we, did some foolish things that aren't us. I think the most important thing is, that we realize who we are, what we're good at, what we're not good at, and continue to focus on the things we're good at.
Yeah.
Like accentuate the positives and eliminate the negatives. I don't know who that was, Frank Sinatra?
Probably.
Yeah. So we're trying to do that. But, it was a well-played, hard-fought, physical football game by both sides. It always is with Northwood.
7-7 at halftime there, and then the kids came out and just, wow. I mean, the third quarter was what, and Troy and I are on the radio, and of course we all call it Bart Ball, where you guys control the ball for 8 minutes, which is incredible. I mean,
it coming out the second half, we knew, we've got to come out and maintain possession, because they can score at any time, as they proved the first half. Maintain possession and try to put a drive together, Dave, that ended up in some points. And I thought, we showed Wyatt Amos ran the offense very well. He ran some midlines that went for big yards and some first downs. Juan Adamillo on that drive. And here's the neat thing about Juan. You don't know with the offense, there might be one game where he'll have 40 carries.
Right.
And last night I think he had 15.
Yeah, he didn't have
15 to 18. He still had, 75 yards and whatnot. But you can't be selfish and be productive in this offense. Keegan Larsh might get 2 carries, or he might get 12 carries.
Right.
So, a lot of it's based on what the defense is doing. But we established ourselves, put together a nice drive, punched it in to make it 14-7, then had a 3-and-out, I believe, right after that.
Absolutely.
And first play back ran a counter play for a 51-yard touchdown to kind of give us a 2-touchdown lead. And at that point, I still didn't feel comfortable.
Well, and when you're going against a quality program like Northwood is, you really can't be comfortable ever with them. But let's talk for a moment about a couple of things that were very unique in this football game. Because Troy and I are up there calling the game there, and it says, there goes Amos around the corner. He's racing down, and he's going to score. Wait a minute, it's not Amos.
Yeah.
So, Blake Marsh actually becomes the quarterback. Where did that come from? Why do that? I mean, obviously you found the weakness.
You saw why.
Right.
So the why of that was answered in the end result.
Right.
A, he's a great athlete.
Oh, yeah.
B, he's played quarterback before and taken snaps. C, it's a change-up.
Right.
D, Wyatt Amos is an incredible blocker.
Right, that's true too.
At halfback last year.
He's tough. Yep.
And
there's a perfect storm there.
We worked on it, and you're down with the freshmen, so oftentimes, that wasn't something that we really talked too much about our Sunday meeting.
Right.
But we practice it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And, there's a progression of plays that we can do out of that set with Blake. At quarterback, and his ability to get the ball in the perimeter or wherever the defense allows it to be exposed. And then you saw the end result.
Sure.
If you miss a tackle.
Yeah. Well, he takes off like a deer.
He does.
I mean, he just does.
So, and then I guess item E and F would be it's a change of pace.
Right.
You know, the Wyatt hits that zone stretch option a little differently than Blake hits it, so it's a little different pace, which is good.
And in the first half, Wyatt was having success of keeping the ball and making things happen there. But you know, Mama didn't raise no fool. Right.
And when you've got number 6 back healthy with fresh legs.
Oh yeah.
And I told our offensive staff this over the headsets. In a kind manner.
Right, of course.
Always kind words.
Okay.
But, hey, you've got number 6. Get him the dang ball.
Right.
So figure it out, you know.
Right. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the special onside kick. And usually you can pull something like that off one time, and if it works, good. But not only did you guys, and it didn't work exactly, of course, we didn't get the ball the first time. Second time you guys do it, it worked perfectly. So what was
it's not really, and not to correct you, Dave, it's not really an onside kick. It's more of a sky.
Yeah, that's true. A pop-up.
Sky pooch pop-up kick.
Right.
Which, even if we don't end up with the football, it gives you the desired result. We didn't think that Harrison, at this point, was going to drive every kickoff into the end zone or out of the end zone like he usually does, just because of the
weather. Yeah.
So we had an alternative plan.
Right.
And Colton Wampler did a great job.
It was executed great.
Of knocking it over the first line and laying it really over the second guy. So that ball ideally is going to land on the numbers at about between the 30 and the 35-yard line. Okay, so there's 3 things that can happen. Only 3, I believe.
Right.
1, it's going to go out of bounds and they get the ball at the 35.
Right.
Not ideal, but
still.
2, it's going to bounce around down there between the 35 and the 30, maybe even deeper, and they're going to recover it without any shot at a return.
Right. That's true, too.
Thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
And then 3rd, it may bounce around down there, and we may recover it, which happened once and didn't happen the other time. So, yeah, it's a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
It's a unique way of having to kick the ball off.
Right.
Because they make you kick it off after you score.
Right.
At least now, I know the NFL may be moving to where, hey, after a score, you get it at the 25.
Right.
But we're still playing NFHS rules where they make you kick off. So that was executed well. It was something we worked on all week, and it's nice to see things you work on come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, too, that with the practice regiment that is designed each and every day and, set up, I think that we just, find the problem that we're having and identify that problem. And we experienced a little bit of that with the freshmen this last week. We ran half line, which we hadn't done before for a couple days in a row. The kids got sure of what their assignments were, and it showed up in their freshman game on Thursday night. So that's a good thing.
It is. And 2 things I want to add to that, and I don't mean to be trite.
No.
At all. I think half this deal is figuring out what you can do.
Right.
Okay. And do those things.
Sure.
And the second half of this deal is more high school games are lost than won. Don't do things that are going to lose you games.
Right.
And anytime 2 teams play that are evenly matched, sometimes games are lost instead of won. They're lost by 1 opponent and one versus one by the other. Now, last night we came out and we took it to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they took it to us. It was a good, hard-fought game. But you mentioned the half line. And that's what kind of sent me into this digression.
Sure.
Find out what it is you need to do, get good at it, and focus on those things. And you do that, and you figure out who you are, you got a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Coach. Totally, 100%. Let's talk for a moment. Obviously, Tigers are now 7-1 on the season. We got a crucial game coming up with Concord. Concord, we go up there, and Concord's been playing some pretty darn good ball this season.
They're a good team. They're 7-1. Their only blemish was 2 weeks ago to Plymouth, where they were down 27-3 at halftime and had the ball twice to win it.
Right.
And didn't. But they're a formidable foe. They can throw it. Their quarterback, Kane, number 4, they've got weapons they can throw it to. They can run the zone option. They're running some triple option.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, so and defensively, they've only given up 85 points this year in 8 games.
Yeah.
So they're rock solid on defense, and Coach Kaler does a nice job.
Absolutely.
Speaking of defense, I thought our defense took a step in the right direction last week.
Yeah.
Didn't play perfect, stood up a little bit, but we played with enthusiasm, played with a purpose, and looked like we were just flying around and having a good time.
And first half, I thought that they were hurting us a little bit on the edge.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
More than a little bit.
Yeah. And then, there, like you said, we had the ball for 8 minutes, scored on them there, and then came back, and it was 3 and out. And the defense just really rose to the occasion, stiffened up, and got the ball back for us.
And one of the things, we're not a complete 2-platoon team. We don't claim to be. It'd be nice if we were.
Yeah.
But when you're playing 4 to 6 to 8 guys on both sides of the ball, and your kids just had to play 8 minutes of defense.
Right.
And now you got to turn around and play offense and kicking game. So we want to get to the point where we don't have to be a 1.5 platoon team.
Right.
We would love to be completely offensive defense, but we're not there yet.
Right.
Obviously, Aaron Green, Blake Marsh, Mason Martz,
Right.
Jack Williamson are 4 kids right now that are playing two sides of the ball. We don't have to play them all the time on both sides.
Right. Well, and in the long time I've been around football, though, and a lot of every head coach I've ever served under there, the idea was to be platoon. And Coach, I don't think we ever really achieved it ourselves. I'm talking about us.
Well, I think we're close.
Right. Sure. Oh, yeah.
I think we're close. And last year we really were. This year, not so much.
Right.
But our practices, you've been to our practices, obviously.
Absolutely.
They are separate. Once we get our kicking game going, and they are separate, offensive and defensive. Provide their own scout teams. And then I think Chris Huber and Mike Curtis do a nice job of sharing personnel. They work it out beforehand. I don't even have to put who's where when.
Right.
I just put on there, hey, you've got 4 sets of 8 snaps. You've got 4 sets of 8 snaps. You guys work out who the personnel groupings are going to be and when you need them, and go from there. And what that does is, while you don't have those 4 kids or 5 kids, other kids are getting valuable repetitions in their spot.
Absolutely.
For that. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of
I agree.
2-platoon football.
Yeah.
I have been. If I were coaching at a 3A school or a 1A school, I would try to 2-platoon. I think.
Oh, it's definitely the way to go.
If you take an average kid, and he does the same thing every day, and I'm talking more linemen than anything.
Right.
You take an average kid and he does the same thing every day and doesn't got to worry about anything else.
Right.
I think he can be as good or better than a better athlete who also has to play linebacker and guard.
Right, absolutely. And I think, our offensive line is living proof of that. They constantly are at it and working it.
They are.
And, the second half, they just dominated the line of scrimmage.
We've got 3 legitimate offensive linemen that I think could play for darn near anybody in our conference or anybody. And I'm not going to say who they are.
No.
And then we have 3 kids who benefit from a 2-platoon system, who probably this system fits well.
Right.
And might not be on the field for some other schools, but because of the manner in which we try to set up our practice and the repetition and the instruction and doing the same old stuff, SOS, same old stuff every day.
Exactly.
Gives them a shot to get on the field and master their trade.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks a lot for being with us. A super victory last night, and we certainly appreciate everything that's being done here. The program is coming together and heading in the right direction, and under your leadership, I think things have just going really great for us. So we wish you the best of luck as you head into Concord Week.
Thank you, Dave, and I want to give a special thank you to our seniors, all 19 of them who stuck through it with us through thick and thin when they could have done something easier, could go home every night after school. There's so many things, other distractions kids could be doing. I want to thank the senior parents for their commitment to our program and them trusting us with their most prized possessions. Our senior parent support and our parent support overall has been incredible. And then a special thank you to Tammy Adamek and Max and Coons, who made last night's senior night really special with the gifts, the lineup. It was just overall a really great evening, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah, and hey, I also want to throw in a big thank you to your wife, Sarah, because, and we're going to roll some footage after at the end of the show here. We had a senior gathering at Coach's house, and Sarah prepared this incredible pasta meal that was lasagna and chicken cacciatore and cheese bread and pizza bread and incredible desserts. It was a wonderful evening that last Wednesday night where everyone got together, and as I said, we'll show you some footage of that event here at the end of the show.
It's
so
amazing,
big thank you to Sarah.
Amazing that I've stayed as thin and fit as I have through 3 decades of marriage, the way she cooks.
Absolutely.
The way she bakes. And she did an incredible job.
It was wonderful.
Feeding 32 people in your own home, one person, and she,
I don't know how
she pulls it off like she owns a
no problem.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah,
she did a great job.
Yeah, we need a good Italian restaurant in Warsaw, so maybe this could be a later in life kind of thing, Coach. I don't know.
And this is our 29th time doing this, and she said, and no knock on any of the other seniors, they've all been awesome. She just said that it was a really fun, enjoyable evening with the cornhole, with the volleyball, and then I lost my checkers championship to Keegan Larson.
I didn't want to bring that up, but
I'll send you a picture of him with the crown.
Right.
And I made a tactical error. I stood up in front of the team and said, I can't be beat. I've never been beat. And I got beat.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Muhammad Ali.
Right. Pride goes before the fall there.
Frazier, I tactical error on my part.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot once again, and good luck as we head into this week. And as I said, to end the show today, we're going to have some footage of the senior pasta fest that we had at Coach's house, and we also got the seniors opening up the show, which you have already seen. But it has been a good evening, a good week for the Tigers, and we hope that we have a real great week this week. Coach, thanks a lot for everything. I appreciate
it. Dave, as always.
Thank you, Mrs. Curtis.
Thanks, Mom. I love you.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Bart Curtis Show. It's Saturday morning, and I'm with a couple of guys here. Been on camera before, but that's okay. Everybody else left, so they're the only ones that I got left to talk to. So anyway, talking to Brock and to Juan, and guys, what a big game last night. What a great game. It was just well put together. Tell us a little bit about how you guys approached this game and some of the changes that took place that none of us were aware of. Like, for instance, all of a sudden, Marsh becomes a quarterback. I mean, these were kind of things that were done that no one really knew about unless you happened to be around practice. So tell us about how that all came about, and obviously it worked pretty well. Whoever wants to go first.
Okay, Brock, go ahead.
So, preparing for this game, we knew it was going to be a big game. Northwood's a good program. They always are. They're tough. They're physical. But we knew that. But we're a tough physical program too. And I think that everyone was not so much as nervous, but anxious for the game. And there's a difference. And I think that nervous is scared to play. Anxious is ready and alert, and I think we came out not great, but we came out strong and we came out ready to play. And as far as our QB switch-ups, that was a thing that we put in pretty early in the week, and our coaches said, "Hey, we're gonna get him on this. Watch." And then next thing you know, we watched and we scored on it. So yeah, I think that our preparation this week was really what gave us the edge over Northwood there.
Absolutely. Juan, what were some of your thoughts about going into this game and going up against Northwood?
Honestly, I was just thinking about last year's game that we came out and did poorly, but we fought through. We prepared this week really well. Everybody was on on their task. We were all thinking about how we were going to come back and beat Northwood because we're a tough team, and I know they're a tough team, but we're stronger and faster.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you guys did a great job with that there. Let's talk for a moment about at what point, I mean, you guys just, it was 7-7 at halftime. I mean, what was the locker room talk about when you guys came in for halftime? Was it an inspirational speech from some of the coaches, or was it just kind of matter-of-factly, hey, here's what we got to do?
Well, first things first, it was cold.
Yeah, that's true.
We were talking about hand warmers right away, but no, the coaches came in. They all discussed for a while, and it wasn't so much as a rallying cry as much as it was we kind of had the momentum. Could have scored, didn't. Things happen. But I still feel like we kind of took the wind out of Northwood's sails. They really thrive on playing ahead and playing with momentum. And they expect teams to kind of crumble when they come out hard, and I don't think they weren't ready for us. So we knew what we had to do. They told us, and then we came out second half really strong, and we did it.
Well, and what do you think about as far as it goes to the second half? At what point did you feel like, hey, we really kind of got this thing under control? And how about the offensive line in front of you? How do you feel the performance went there?
Our offensive line is great. I mean, they always come out and compete. They're a great group of guys. They know what they're doing up front. They're strong, physical. They like to be nasty and aggressive. So I guess that's what really pushed us on. Whenever they have good plays, that's when we know we're gonna keep going, and just destroy them up front. And that's what got us up there, and that's what made us succeed in every play. We would come out and just compete. Yeah.
I was a little bit surprised there. Well, first of all, the onside kick, the first one that you guys tried, it almost worked, except it scored it out of bounds. But then to come back and run it the second time, I mean, neither one of you guys are on the special team.
No, we're not.
But that is something also that you guys prepared for the week, I'm sure.
So I have class with Coach Richards, 5th period.
Right.
And we were done. We finished about 10 minutes early. He said, "Hey, Brock, come here." And I said, "Okay." And he showed me his little trick play, and he said, "We're going to get him on this."
Yeah.
And I said, "All right, show me."
Yeah.
And then we hit it twice, and I was like, well, all right, you know what you're talking about, I guess.
Well, and that's what was shocking about it to me was, you guys you did it once, and I thought, okay, well, it didn't quite work, that's too bad. But to come back and do it the second time and actually make it work, that was just kind of astounding.
Yeah, and that's one of the, I think, underappreciated benefits to having such a good kicker is that a lot of teams will look at us and their return people, even if they're coached to, hey, be ready for whatever, in the back of their heads, they're thinking, this guy's at Missouri, he's D1 athlete, I don't have to do anything. And then Colton Wampler kicks it about 12 yards down the field, and they're not ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely not. And it was a perfect kick because it arched up there just right and dropped in there, and that was really a great effort. Well, I got to tell you guys, I've been, when I was a senior in high school, I said this on the radio last night, we were first year in the conference as Wawasee High School, and we played Northwood, and it kind of set up my whole history with Northwood there because it was a dogfight. We ended up winning it 6-3, but it was an incredible battle. Well, guys, hey, I want to say congratulations on a great job, and on to Concord now, and a week of preparation for that, and we'll let the cards fall as they may. We're all going to be Northwood fans next week. I know that. It would be nice to see them knock Plymouth off, but you guys. Yeah, absolutely. So you guys have done a great job. Good luck here. We'll find out on Sunday, I believe, what our sectional draw is. So it's an exciting time in Tiger football, and I think the whole team is starting to rise up and peak, which is a great time to peak since we're getting ready to go into the state tournament series. Sure. All right. Thanks for being with us, guys, and best of luck. Appreciate it.
With all might, for the victory we will win for you. Never shaken, always taken, in the battle we're trying to. Warsaw!
We beat somebody that's really good. You beat somebody that's really good.